Hello guys, today we are making a video on British conquest of India. Earlier I've already made a video on Anglo-Afghan war. You can see that also. So today we'll understand that how British were able to conquest India and to have a basic understanding what was the political condition of India in 18th century. You must understand one thing that so by 1740s, this is very important, okay? So whenever you read British conquest in India, please don't go to Plassey straight away. No, sir, no, that will be a wrong decision. In 1740, you will see what was the political condition of India. It is very important. The political condition of India is that the Mughal Empire disintegrated, disintegrated, and you have successor states. The successor states which are present in Hyderabad, Bengal, and Carnatic, you have in Punjab. Moreover, you have the different states, okay, that has no relation with the British, sorry, with the Mughals, and these are basically Marathas, Mysore. Yes, these places. At Hyderabad, you have Nizam. Okay, so this was basically the political condition of India in 1740s. That India is disintegrated, this Mughal Empire is disintegrated, and you have got successor states. Punjab hai, Bengal, Karnataka, and of course the other states like Maratha, Mysore. And this was the time where actually you can see that the planning and the plotting of the conquest of India by the European forces was in play. Although there was multiple things which were in place, we know in 1739 Nadir Shah, he have beaten Delhi, sir, beaten Delhi. He's taken literally everything. He's made poverty in every house of the nobles of Delhi. So we have seen that. So from 1740, the very next year, you have to study the conquest of India. So please, when you see the disintegration of Mughal Empire with any book, you come to 1739 first. You will see eventually from the Bahadur Shah to Muhammad Shah Rangila, you will see that the disintegration is happening. And of course, when this Asaf Jahan, Nizamul Mulk, he will go and create Hyderabad. That was the symbol in 1720s. That now this empire has no force within it. And 1739, you see that Nadir Shah has beaten Delhi. That is another sign. But right from 1740, your focus should shift not to Mughal Empire now onward, but on how this conquest was going to play. So in 1740, what has happened in such a manner in India that it lay itself to the British Empire, okay, or the British basically, East India Company. So it was that in 1740, you will see that at the world level, British and French, they are fighting. They're fighting with each other at the world level. And whenever they fight at the world level, India also comes into play automatically. Because we have the French East India Company or French company in India, we have the British company in India, and both are present. And of course, here also they will want to outmaneuver each other, right? That is a very natural thing. But who was the person who took the first step? And where was that political field? So the political field was in Hyderabad and Carnatic. Please remember, sir, very important, very important. Hyderabad and Carnatic. These are the first, I used to call them Bakra, okay, which were slaughtered. So, although these are the political field, okay. So, these were the political fields, or the Bakra, you can say, which has to be slaughtered by the European powers. And you have the amazing man, sir. Too amazing, sir. I'm a huge fan of these people, although I hate them, but still. They were basically Dupleix and Robert Clive. But for the moment, let's come to Dupleix. Let's forget Robert Clive. He's not in the picture at this moment. Now, Dupleix has a mind which is very conscious. Dupleix said that to gain a momentum, to gain a force, to get an advantage in India, we must strike at two things. We should strike at the soul and we should strike at the mind. Strike at the soul, strike at the mind. And this is very important for you. If you have to conquer someone, you must strike at the soul and you must strike at the mind. Now, what is soul? Soul is economy, sir. And what is mind? Polity, other name, influence. We must strike at these two things. He said that here is a policy. What we will do is that whenever there will be war of succession, we will support one side, which of course to their assessment will be the stronger side. So the stronger side. And when of course he will win, we will have soul and mind. What is soul? Commercial, because of course their company. So their primary aim is to get the commercial benefits. So commercial and financial profits. What is mind? To oppose British. So to influence them against British. So this was the planning of Dupleix. Amazing planning. And you will see this model will be taken up by the Wellesley later when he will start with subsidiary alliance policy. This is the policy, sir. It is written by Dupleix, no doubt. Dupleix had this mind. He said, whenever they will fight, the war of succession is going on, two sides of Indian kings are there, we will intervene and we will support the one side which is stronger. That is the mind, very conscious mind. And he got the opportunity. He got the opportunity in Hyderabad. Remember the Bakras and the Carnatic. In Carnatic, there was a war of succession, and war of succession was basically between Anwaruddin. You have to remember the name. Some name you have to remember. Okay. So there was this Anwaruddin and Chanda Sahib, and of course by 1748 you will see Asaf Jahan, Nizamul Mulk. So he passed away. He died. And now you have the war of succession between Nasir Jung and Muzaffar Jung. So in 1748, okay, 1748, Dupleix, who has this mind, now he is opposed British because the international fight is going on between them. So he's opposed British. He has to take a force. He has to create a force in India. He has to conquer the mind and the soul. So he made secret agreements with Muzaffar Jung and secret agreement with Chanda Sahib. What was the secret agreement? Very simple, sir. That we will support you with the French army. Of course, this French army have people from France and of course Indians. So we will support Muzaffar Jung and we will support Chanda Sahib. Okay, so this was the secret agreement that they have made with both of them. And what they have done basically now. So in 1749, the trio. What is the trio? The Dupleix, of course, the French army, plus the force of Muzaffar Jung, plus Chanda Sahib. So they killed Anwaruddin. Basically, they defeated him in the Battle of Ambur. Very important, sir. This battle should be given as much as consideration as much you give to Plassey or to Buxar. And everyone, wherever you read, people will directly jump to Plassey, Buxar, 1757, 1764. That is fine. That is good. That is a strategic victory of British. That was a victory. After that, French has no hope to survive. Already they were defeated one day wash, and that was bound to happen. One day wash, the results were already decided, and I'll tell you how. How the results were already decided that the French are bound to lose. So right now it is the victory period for the French. Okay, so what they have taken the Dupleix, and of course along with Muzaffar Jung and of course Chanda Sahib, they have defeated Anwaruddin. He has been killed. Okay, so this is done, and at the same time you will see in Hyderabad also, he was able to place Muzaffar Jung for the Nawab, Nizam. Sorry, Nizam. So he was able to place Muzaffar Jung as the Nizam. So now this is a success for the French in both the areas. He is able to install Chanda Sahib and he is able to install Muzaffar Jung. There is one mistake which was done by Dupleix. One mistake. So when they were defeating Anwaruddin here, he had a son whose name is Muhammad Ali. This son Muhammad Ali, he fled, and he fled to the place which is known as Trinochopalli. Okay, so he fled basically, and he was sitting at Trinochopalli. Okay, so he was sitting as Trinochopalli. So this is the situation in 1749. Okay, now what were the gains for the France? This is very interesting because they have helped now, and they have helped in Hyderabad, they have helped in Arcot. What is the gain, sir? Immense gain, immense. Rupees 20 lakh to Dupleix. You see, 20 lakh rupees to Dupleix in 1749 by, of course, Hyderabad. Who was sitting at Hyderabad? Muzaffar Jung. What else? Rupees 5 lakh to the company. The France भी तो कुछ भेजना है. He has sent 5 lakh rupees to France. Rupees 5 lakh to the soldiers. Title, honorary title to Dupleix as the governor from Krishna to Kanyakumari. So honoring him. And of course, Jagir of rupees 1 lakh per year to Dupleix. So now you can see what has happened. Let us recall from 1740s. We have seen that the Mughal Empire has been disintegrated. It has been disintegrated into the successor states. One was Hyderabad, other was Bengal, Carnatic, Punjab. These were the successor states. And you have the other states, the Marathas, Mysore. And in 1740s, this playground, this political field, which has given the entry to the Europeans into the political field of India, came from Hyderabad and Arcot. 1748, death of Asaf Jahan. Now a confrontation between Muzaffar Jung and Nasir Jung. So who will become the Nizam? And of course, the war of succession in Carnatic between Chanda Sahib and Anwaruddin. Dupleix, he said, we will place our cards toward the stronger side. We will support them. In return, we'll get the soul and the mind, the political influence and commercial profit. So he has supported Chanda Sahib and Muzaffar Jung, and the trio killed Anuruddin, and then of course they were able to place Muzaffar Jung on the throne of the Hyderabad. One mistake they have done is that Muhammad Ali, still alive, the son of Anwaruddin from Karnataka, is still alive, sir. That is the The main cause of their failure, sir. That is the main cause. This is a lesson for each of you, sir. Please take it, sir. This lesson. This is a lesson that when you destroy your enemy, sir, completely destroy them. Don't leave any hope. Tomorrow, destroy Pakistan, completely rout it out. From POK to Sindh, complete. Balochistan, I don't want it. You should leave it completely. Don't leave any hope, any place, because that could become then a cancer for you. And this has happened. This has happened here also. This is a lesson. Please learn it. Now, what happened next? Now, with you watch the rise of the France. That France has influence in Hyderabad, and France has influence in Carnatic. And of course, Dupleix has placed his general in Hyderabad, Busi. ये mind कैसे मिलेगा? How will influence politically? You have to place a person. You see Wellesley policy? You see Wellesley policy? Resident. He is the resident. French resident at the Hyderabad court. Busi. Remember the name, very important. Is placed Busi at the Hyderabad court. And will get further advantage. How? This man, Muzaffar Jung, he died. So he made Salabat Jung as the new Nizam. And he has given Nadan Sarkar area, Nadan Sarkar region. They also got Masulipatinam from the Muzaffar Jung. I forget to mention that. They've expanded the area of the Pondicherry also. I forget to mention that. So many benefits, not only monetary, commercial also. Pondicherry was expanded, Masulipatinam was given. Nadan Sarkar is under their control. And this is threatening the British. This is a threat for the British, sir. The message is clear to the British. If they were not able to control this man, Dupleix will beat them, and he'll get the shit out of their asses. That was the message, and it was clear to British. And British is in problems, sir. They are in crisis at this moment. How to deal with this? And they know Muhammad Ali is still alive, sitting at Trinochapalli, and of course he's besieged by the forces of Chanda Sahib. And now with this period from 1749 onwards, this is a period of Clive rise, sir. Clive rise. This is a period of Clive. The discussions are going on that how to deal with it. They know that the Muhammad Ali is still alive. He's present in the Nochopalli. He's besieged by the Chanda Sahib plus the French. Chanda Sahib who? Basically the Nawab of Arcot. This Carnatic capital at Arcot. So he is the Nawab of Carnatic capital at Arcot. And there is this Clive. Clive, of course, British. He said, if you want to relieve Muhammad Ali, because that could be your puppet, so you have to relieve him, you must strike at Arcot. And that was a very mindful, conscious mind, similar to Dupleix. So he said our forces should attack at Arcot, and that is what is done. With only 500 men, he was given this opportunity, he was given this position that go and do it. He attacked Arcot. When he attacked Arcot, Chanda Sahib and French, they moved to save Arcot. He was relieved, sir. He was relieved the besiege. The siege of this fort is gone. And here, Clive not only has killed Chanda Sahib. So Chanda Sahib, he was killed. Chanda Sahib, the puppet, he was killed. France army, he was defeated. And to such an extent, by 1754, French demanded negotiation, peace. You see what Clive has done. You always remember Clive, and then comes always with, Battle of Plassey, Battle of Buxar. Yes, he has done that. Great job, strategic victory for them. But before that, Clive has proved his mettle in the south. You must remember, after the Battle of Ambur in 1749, France was at the peak. And trust me, if Clive has not done this step, it was the French would have conquered and we'll be speaking French language, not the English. But what Clive has played the move, he said, to relieve Muhammad Ali, let's attack Arcot. And the complete force with 500 men went to Arcot. Chanda Sahib moved towards the Arcot and they have beaten Chanda Sahib. Not only beaten, they have killed Chanda Sahib at this point. And they have defeated France. And they came to a peace treaty in 1754. And the peace treaty of 1754, peace treaty, one point, sir, one point. It is very close to my heart. What will be that point? You think the conscious level, they would have asked for anything? They could have said, okay, give all the territories to British. No, they said, remove Dupleix. Call him back to France. Call him back. We don't want this man in India because they knew the real challenge, the real danger is from the Dupleix in India. So he was basically the best of the France mind, best of the France mind in India. And Dupleix went back. And once the Dupleix went back, and you remember my statement, I said that in Wandiwash, French was bound to be beaten. It was bound to be defeated because Dupleix is not there. He's gone back in 1754. This is the major thing, sir, of the conquest. Now there's a treaty here, and what happens by 1756? You know very much, very importantly, Battle of Plassey. And we know what has happened in there. There was a confrontation with Sirajud-Dowlah. Siraj, sometimes people say that he has done the black hole of Calcutta. That means he has basically closed some hundred of British people into a small room and they died will suffocated. Only some few they were able to survive the next morning. And to take the revenge, this Robert Clive went to Bengal and he conspired with all the people, giving them their that you will become the next Nawab, okay, you will become the Mir Baksh, and he has taken that opportunity. So Battle of Plassey has been done in 1756. That is the, that was the cleverful way the Clive has won the victory, no doubt. Now this was Battle of Plassey was a strategic victory for British. See, the overall, what France wanted to do, what the French wanted to do was to have the soul and the mind. Who did this? It was done by Robert Clive by defeating France or French in south and by defeating Siraj in Bengal. 1754 treaty, 1757 Battle of Plassey. And with this, all the door which are closed for anything substantially or reasonable for the France now. There's no nothing, sir. The revenue is huge. Revenue what they're getting from Bengal province is huge, sir. Very huge. And of course, there was a decisive battle which is known as Battle of Wandiwash, in which Lely participated and Ayerkut. Okay, he was from the French side, Lely, and he was from the British. Of course, British defeated them. And then again, so this happened in 1760. And then they came to a treaty, it is 1763. Close the door. Close the door for any substantial power for France in India. What were the points of treaty? Take your territories, but no fortification, do trade, no military garrisons. That means you're making them basically a powerless dog. You're making France a powerless dog in India. You're telling them be commercial, don't enter the political game, else we'll beat you. You're telling them focus on commercial thing, don't keep garrisons, don't fortify your factories. And by keeping all these things in the basically this is known as Treaty of Paris. Keeping all these things on them means that in future, if you try to fortify, if you try to fortify, or if you try to keep garrison, that means that you're conspiring against the British, and you will be arm twisted then. So basically, this closed the door for the France to have any substantial power. And with the defeat of Tipu later, we will see the French power has now no relations basically in India. They will be present, they will be there, and of course, French will be there in India, but there is no substantial power now. They have made the shit out of their asses basically. Okay. Now, what the lessons which the British learned in all these scenarios, right from 1740s, 48, you can say, to 1763, in 1757, 1761, and of course, then will be in 1764. What are the messages which they have learned? The lessons. They said this country has no nationalism, no nationalism. And trust me, today also this country has no nationalism. Nationalism does not mean that we go and abuse Pakistan and abuse some other country. No, nationalism means that you do some constructive work for your country. You abolish the caste system. You respect the women. You develop industries. You create employment. It is not by abusing Pakistan that will become a superpower in this world. There is no nationalism even now in India. We're still divided on the basis of the caste, region, language. Someone asks you from where you hail. You never say India. You say Rajasthan, Punjab, Carnatic, Tamil Nadu, Mizoram. In the name of the states, you show your identity. You never say India. Some people say it to just show we are Indians. We should say it. No, you are India. Become nationalist, then focus on economy of this country. Have a target to make it $14 trillion. Do something. Remove the social evils which are still present. Raise your voice against these religious issues which are going on. You never said all these things, and you're nationalist, hyper nationalist when it comes to other nations. No, don't put your interest in wrong directions. If you're nationalist, do something for this country, and then say you are nationalist. By just abusing some other country, never becomes a nationalist. It's a false pseudo nationalist. So British says that there is no nationalism in this country. That means you can hire anyone as a soldier, give him the weapon, you give him the training, and then you intervene between the rulers, the aspirants, and you control their mind and their soul. Mind is polity, soul is economy. So before Buxar, before Plassey, everything, lessons have been learned that there is no nationalism in this India. You can employ anyone as a soldier, give him weapons, give him training. And the lessons which Babar has done, Babar has come with a very modernized cannons, matchlocks, which Ibrahim Lodi never thought of. Ibrahim Lodi thought it will be a normal warfare. He never was imagining any sort of matchlocks and cannon. Babar came with a very small force and defeated Ibrahim Lodi with a very huge force. Same lessons are learned by the British also. In this country, you come with a modern, advanced weapon, advanced training, and you can defeat large army also. And the Indian soldier, if trained, you have to pay him less, and he's as worthy as the European soldier, even more hardy. That was the lessons. And now they have the eyes on the resources of India, and this opened the door for the conquest of India for British. Thank you.